Welcome, welcome. It's Lisa Nickel, host of the Sacred and Rooted podcast. I am back after a little bit longer hiatus than I anticipated, but it feels like a new year, really, more than anything else for me. And maybe all my fellow Aquariuses who have just come off their own personal new moon there. I think it was on Friday. And happy Chinese New Year, because dragons are cool. So this year should be fun. Anyways, so I just am recording this. It'll be one of the morning magic episodes, so it'll be a shorter one just to kind of get back into the groove. And then I'll be on my way. Because I've missed you. I've missed doing this. It has been a bit of a slog the last long while. But I feel like Friday was sort of, I even said to my partner, I said, this is like the end of my old life, and then tomorrow is the next day of the rest of my life. Like, it feels very before and after, and I'm not totally sure why, but that's just the sense I'm getting. So anyways, this recording, usually I do a quote and then we just, riff off of it, and that's it, short and sweet, just a little inspiration. And so here's the quote. It's from my mentor, Elayne Kalila. She's a priestess, actually, in the 13 Moon Mysteries lineage. And so I took a year-long initiation with her last year. And then I'm continuing on another one this year with her and Ascent Priestess, which is actually really, really very juicy. It's excellent. So anyways, lots of new things to try and to explore. But her quote is this: do one thing very, very well. You are called to be you. Master your frequency in this lifetime. So let me say that again, just because that was a little bit lurchy. Do one thing very, very well. You are called to be you, and so master your frequency in this lifetime. And so that is the calling of each of our lives. It's not the same thing that we're all signed up for. It's very different. But each of us is called to master our own frequency. And so when you consider that, it instantly is centered around you and your soul and what your desires are and what your heart calls you to do. It sort of immediately cuts off the influence, the external influence that we all receive from society, from our friends, our well-intentioned loved ones, and our family, and everybody and everything that ever, wanted to have an opinion. And so just to consider that, and as you go through your day, as you go through your week and months and lifetime, your life, to just, are you mastering your own frequency? How are you mastering your own frequency? And where are you allowing other people's frequencies to, be the master of yours and to really influence you in directions that you wouldn't necessarily be going without, just kind of letting them take the wheel, really. Or letting an idea take the wheel, or letting whatever it is. It could be anything. But to really spend the rest of your life, mastering your own frequency and exploring what that means for you, and where you do give your power to other people or other things, or, where you do get into bad habits and just feel like, that you have no control over them. Or a bad situation that you feel like you have no control over, to always allow yourself the possibility that you have far more, agency over your life than we, can give ourselves credit for in a lot of ways. So to keep the focus, this, I guess, is the gist of this podcast episode, is to just keep the focus centered internally. And like your compass is inside you. It is not outside in any way. Even your parents, your siblings, your friend from grade 5, your friend from before you were born, like anything, that's not your compass. Your compass is inside. It's your soul. It's your internal guidance system, your divine wisdom, and to never let anything override that. And I just want to add a corollary that following your heart's desire, aligning with your soul and allowing that to, take you on adventures and experiences, that's not necessarily, well, it isn't. Flat out, it isn't an easy road. It'll be one hell of an adventure, for sure, at the end of it all. But it's like a friggin' full body, full mind, full soul experience. Like, it is not boring. It's not necessarily a smooth road all the time. You're gonna get things thrown at you. You're gonna get hurdles, that you're gonna have to go around and get around and figure out what to do with. But it's like so much better working something out while you're on the path that you really feel passionate about than having the same shit thrown at you on a different path where you're only like, kind of like half into it, or you're 33% here and the rest of you is just numbing and distracting and everything yourself, So the soul is always leading you towards things like that you've never done before and that probably scare you. And it's because it wants you to grow. It wants you to evolve. It wants you to really shine. And where you currently are, you have way more potential no matter where you're at right now. And so your soul is constantly like desiring, and through desires and through dreams and through, the things that you think about all the time, but you maybe never act on yet or haven't acted on yet. Through that stuff, your soul is calling to you, it's giving you those nudges. It's like, come on, let's try this. Let's do that. Let's go, try this. So, but the point is that your soul is never going to be like, we really need to watch more TV and just sit inside all the time and never try anything new. Like, that is not your soul. That's your ego. And so that's you just, wanting to be comfortable, and this life was not meant to be comfortable. I'm sorry to say this. But it's not meant to be comfortable. It is meant to be like a really dynamic, thoroughly meaningful experience. But that does not mean that nothing bad is ever going to happen if you're on your path, or if something bad is happening, then you must not be on the right path. Like, there's no like getting out of this life with just like, everything's roses and all that. So if we assume that no matter what you do, you're gonna have heartbreak, you're gonna have heartache, you're gonna experience really dark nights of the soul, you're also gonna have some awesome, fun times, like either way. But when you're following your soul's desires, and when you're following your soul's, little nudges, you will find a life that's richer in meaning than you have any idea that you could even like experience. And it's going to be mind-blowing. But you have to ride the whole roller coaster. So you have to go through the lows and through the highs and the whole thing. But then when you get off, you're like, holy fuck, I want to get on that again. That was awesome, right? Like, it's like that. And so you want the like really amazing ride where you have been fully engaged in your life, and you have, brought everything, all the skills you've learned to date, all of the things that you've experienced, like all that wisdom, it's feeding your next step, and on and on and on. And so to just to acknowledge we're all here to master our own frequencies. Everyone has a different frequency. Everyone has a different style. Everyone's here to, experience different things and bring different perspectives. And then also, when you are committing to that, to just be up for the adventure, because it is a freaking adventure, and it's one that you're here for. Like, not everyone gets to show up here on the earth, and so this is a gift. And so to really get all that you can out of it. And so I wish you a beautiful day. I wish you an exciting, lively life, one that you find very meaningful, and one that is guided by your internal compass, always. Anyways, I will see you in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care.